My name is Emma, and I'm with Angie, and today we're going to be talking about utilitarianism and some of the pros and cons and how it affects our country, how our country can do better with it, and how other countries use it for my ethics in society class. Today we are talking about utilitarianism.
I've heard about utilitarianism, but I don't know exactly what it is.
It basically says that the morally correct action will always be the one that benefits the most people. It focuses on the greater good rather than simple right from wrong.
So that seems like a reasonable way to think. Doing good for more people than just for you is always nice.
Exactly. If your decision helps more people than it hurts, a utilitarian considers it the right choice.
So, what are some real life examples or a real life example?
A good example would be our government spending money. They could choose to spend money on fixing roads and building sidewalks or more hospitals.
So, a utilitarian would want, like, to choose the hospitals or the medical system in general, right?
Yep, hospitals would save thousands of lives and open hundreds of new job opportunities, while nicer roads would be beneficial but not nearly as much as a new hospital.
Well, that makes sense. Are there any other examples?
Yeah, like having $100 in cash that you were gonna spend on new video games, but choosing to give it to a homeless couple who looked like they were in need of winter clothing.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the better choice, and I see where that could be utilitarianism. So, what are some of the benefits of utilitarianism government?
Encouraging people to think selflessly and not only think of their wants. Thinking of how to do the best for everyone will always be more beneficial to society than only thinking what's best for me.
So I do agree, and it sounds like it could be bring society together. I wonder why we don't do it more. If that's the easy way, I'm just throwing that out there. You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, it can be applied to almost any situation. Everyday life, politics, friendships, family, business. It also teaches that everyone is equal and we all deserve happiness. That you aren't more important just because you're you.
There's a lot of selfish and mean people in the world, so I could see why this would be difficult to do. But it's a really beautiful way to look at at life overall. Um, do you think it's a good theory?
Yeah, because it encourages empathy and a sense of community. It also could be considered virtuous since it exercises courage to help others and responsibilities for others' happiness, and to do the right thing, even if it may be uncomfortable for the greater good.
That's a solid conclusion.
Yeah, it is.
So I was just looking up while we were sitting here talking, and was wondering, like, does anybody have like a total utilitarian government? It doesn't look like anyone does, which kind of shocks me, but doesn't shock me. But it got me thinking, like, what we do in this country that are examples of it. And one that comes to mind, besides the ones that you gave, and I wonder if you agree with this, are like the seatbelt and the drunk driving laws. Um, because it's kind of a restriction of our freedom, but the law saves lives because, drunk drunk driving kills people.
Yeah, like when you were younger, it was fine to drink and drive, right? Like it wasn't fine, but you didn't go to jail. Like the cop just drove you home.
Yeah, the laws were much looser, so they had to rein that in. It's a little more utilitarian, and I think a lot of people thought it was during that time, like, it was taking away their freedom, but it was because it was actually saving lives. And seatbelts were the same thing. Seatbelts weren't actually required when I was a kid. Like, we didn't have to wear seatbelts.
And now it's a law.
And now it's a law because it saves lives. So it's, I think, an example of utilitarian. So I guess we don't have a full utilitarian government here, but like you said, we have examples. And another one that's probably really controversial, I bet, that I'm thinking about is uh, mandatory vaccine requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was really controversial during COVID. And when your sister and I were just talking about this today, whenever we had her carry vaccine cards, and how we both thought that was silly, but at the time the laws were put in place because they thought it was for the greater good of everybody, because at the time they thought it was killing people. And as we know, those aren't enforced now, but everybody has to have a measles, but there are certain vaccines that you have to have, like to go to school and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you don't want to go spreading diseases to a bunch of kids.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the utilitarian policies are probably highly controversial because people think that they limit their freedoms.
Yeah, and taking away someone's choice can be controversial too, obviously, but
it goes back to what you were saying. It's for selflessness rather than selfishness.
Yeah, because if we were all able to just do whatever we wanted, I don't think that would really benefit anyone.
No. Be the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
So, I know we just talked about some of the United States examples. I wonder if there's any other countries that have a lot of utilitarian laws in place.
Denmark and Sweden does. Denmark has high taxes to fund healthcare and education. A lot of their policies are evaluated based on improving overall quality of life. They have very strong protections for individual rights. Similar to Denmark, with a focus on maximizing well-being through a social safety net. Public policy frequently relies on evidence and expected societal outcomes.
And where's that?
Sweden.
Yeah, that would never fly here. We have high taxes, but no good universal health care.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our taxes don't go back to us.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. And I do know that Denmark has amazing healthcare. So, but you were just talking about the hospitals, so that's like an example of what you were just saying at the beginning. Interesting stuff.
Yeah. A way our government could be more utilitarian is to start spending more of our taxes on things like that, like affordable housing and healthcare, free healthcare.
Yeah, like Canada. Although the Canadian one is not as good, but
yeah, I heard that too. I don't know too much about it though. I heard a lot of people are actually going to different countries for healthcare because it's too expensive here.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because the pharmaceutical companies are ruling our healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.